Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble HEROIC campaign guide, I'm going to show you an easy way to take down Emberstrife in Dustwallow Marsh with all families. The difference between Heroic Emberstrife and normal Emberstrife are these Defiance bandits that are here right at the start. So these Defiance bandits are going to start moving over here and they are going to try to take those chests. And they have the picklock talent too, so any chest they take, it's 4 gold for Emberstrife. You really want to stop these bandits from taking that gold. And then there's a couple of drakes and there's Emberstrife just as usual. In normal version I take down both drakes, but in this heroic version I typically focus on this drake first and allow the base to handle one of the drakes. Because in addition to those drakes you really have to keep an eye on the molten giants in this one. The molten giants have the talent that makes them explode when they die. And that has some consequences, so you really want to steal those molten giants if possible, or kill them at range so that you don't just lose all of your minis. Emberstrife moves in a circle in a counterclockwise pattern, but your minis are going to move the same circle in a clockwise pattern, which is also important to keep in mind. So destroy the bandits, handle the drakes, start getting some chests for yourself, and remember your minis go clockwise, so start from this chest if at all possible so that you will grab more of them, and then distract Emberstrife and shoot it from behind, and that's pretty much the map. And this is pretty much the ideal army for Emberstrife. There are 4 core slots that you will use with all leaders, and then there are 2 flex slots, so that you can always use the army bonus slots when available. So the 4 core slots, I have Quillbore and I have Chimera. Quillbore and Chimera are responsible for killing Emberstrife. Quillbore is going to turn it around, and Chimera is going to shoot it in the back. You could also use Harpies. I see lots of people use Harpies in this one, but Chimera is better. Harpies have problems because Harpies go very close to the target. So for example, if there's a Molten Giant and you don't manage to steal it, then Harpies will die to the explosion, whereas Chimera does not. Chimera also kills all the chickens and all sorts of small things like that instantly, whereas Harpies have to kill stuff one by one. Well, in addition to these minis that kill Emberstrife, you have Banshee. Banshee is here mainly for stealing Molten Giants. You can steal some Drakes, you can even steal some Warsong Raiders if you need to, but do note that you cannot steal Firehammers. Firehammer will kill the Banshee. Another thing to note is that Molten Giant, if you play Banshee right next to the Molten Giant will one-shot your Banshee if it's low enough. So you have to play Banshee a little bit further so the Molten Giant doesn't have a chance to hit it. And then the 4th core mini is Safe Pilot, because Safe Pilot is here to kill those Defiance bandits and start taking some chests for you. So now you have the basics covered, which leaves you with 2 flex slots. In this one, I use the flex slots for a Pyromancer, which is probably my favorite flex slot in this particular mission. Pyromancer has that AoE damage, lots of damage, can kill drakes, can even kill Emberstrife, just a very flexible, very solid mini for this one. And then I have Skeletons. Why do I have Skeletons? Well, Skeletons have pretty much just one job, and that is to take chests for me. Cheap cycle, they go into an Undead slot because this is an Undead army, and Unbound. They just grab those chests for me. But you can have a couple of different plans for these flex slots. You probably want one mini with AoE capabilities, and the second one can either be an Unbound mini that grabs chests for you, or it can be some kind of a resistant tank that is strong against the Firehammer, strong against the Ogre Mages, and can even tank Emberstrife a little bit. But I will show you all the armies that I used with this one. You can of course vary it a little bit as long as you keep the core 4 minis here, because those are crucial to your plan, and then fill in the gaps with those 2 flex slots. And this is what all families look like in action. So here we go, Heroic Emberstrife with Alliance. I have a Safe Pilot in my opening hand. That was actually a bit too early of a Safe Pilot. It's better if you let the minis hit the chest a little bit so that Safe Pilot is going to pop the chest when it drops. If you can get exact timing like that, then that's stronger. So I was a little bit hasty there. Then I grabbed a Drake with a Banshee, which is completely fine. One of those early Drakes can be taken with a Banshee, then the Drake can fight against Molten Giants or whatever comes out, so that's completely fine. I sent somebody to grab some chests for me, and there we go. We're grabbing chests, which means lots and lots of gold, which is awesome. And then I'm trying to get to mine a little bit as well, and pushing in a bit of an attack here. And now I should already deploy this. I'm a little bit slow with the Banshee there, because I knew that the Chimera would kill all of the chickens. So the one advantage of the Chimera in this one, killing all of the chickens. So alright, the chickens are dead, and then Banshee gets the target that you want it to get. Alright, then we go and fight a little bit against the Warsong Raider, then turn Ember Strike around so that our Chimera is going to start getting some shots in. I will also have the advantage of having the Molten Giant here to tank, so that Chimera is going to get a lot of hits into that Emberstrife. And yeah, just look at it. Now this is better than usual. You usually don't do this in a single round, you do it in multiple rounds, but now that Emberstrife just took so much damage. Alright, so Emberstrife is already almost dead. We can probably drop it already, yes, just in time. Just in time the distraction, and the Chimera is coming, and the Chimera is going to kill Emberstrife, and boom. That's Emberstrife. Then it's time to do Emberstrife with Beast, same story again. Okay, I'm sending a Banshee to grab the leftmost Drake, the rightmost Drake, the base can handle. I'm dropping this time the safe pilot timing. That was perfect safe pilot timing. Safe pilot opened the chest and killed the bandits, and that was just beautiful. And now I have a bit of an assault going on over here, because I have the Chimera and I have the Drake, so I'm just going to turn that Emberstrife around like that, except that I now missed my timing. Well, that's inconvenient. I'm going to try to steal that Molten Giant. Obviously, if I had Will of the Necropolis talent on my Banshee, so that that Molten Giant would get to full health, then that would be even sweeter. But even though I don't have it here, it still works, no worries. Now there's a Firehammer coming, and Firehammer is probably one of the most annoying minis in this one. Because it really packs some punch and kills stuff, but now I was able to get it done. And there's a living bomb now that I had more minis out there. That's inconvenient. Am I in time? No, I'm a little bit late again. So, a series of unfortunate incidents here. Things just haven't gone exactly according to plan. But no worries, I haven't lost anything yet. My base is still relatively healthy. And now I would just need to get that Molten Giant. Yes, I managed to get the Molten Giant, so alright, we're totally fine. No worries whatsoever. Okay, well, Molten Giant dies, but it explodes upon death. And did you see how much damage it dealt? That's why you want to grab them instead of just killing them. And then fighting against the Ogre Mage a little bit. Still fine, still fine. Alright, now I do need to grab those chests and prevent those Defias bandits from getting the chests, and I need to get this fight back on track. Preferably, I will start getting the chests, I will steal that Molten Giant, and then I will set up a fight against Emberstrife. That's the current plan. So here we go, now we have a Molten Giant. Molten Giant is going to kill that Firehammer. Yep, poor Firehammer. Actually, Firehammer is dealing quite a lot of damage to it. Well, it was 5 levels higher, so I guess it had a bit of an advantage in that regard. And here we fight. Alright, now we have some damage that can shoot air. We turn Emberstrife around. I see that there's 3 gold nuggets available to be mined, so I want to take the opportunity. I can send my Skeleton Party out there as well. Skeleton Party is a little bit expensive. I don't know if it's really ideal to have here, but it does deal a chunk of damage too. Now there's the problem with that Firehammer, because Firehammer can kill Banshee. So I need to make sure that the Firehammer does not shoot at the Banshee. I could have positioned the Banshee there a little bit earlier. I mean, I should have been confident that my mini can handle it. This is actually quite beautiful. I have Quillboar with Bristleback, and Quillboar with Bristleback just kills those bandits. It's wonderful. Wonderful talent in this one, although you can also do it without that, it's fine. Then you just need to be a little bit more careful that you always have minis that you can send out to kill them. And for that purpose, my Skeleton Party is a little bit on the expensive side, so... This hasn't been an ideal clear, I suppose, but we're definitely getting there. That Quillboar... Quillboar's tanking, and damage is being dealt. Everything's going smoothly. Molten Giant is mine. Just drop another that Skeleton Mage. Skeleton Mage really doing good work, and boom, we get it down. Then it's time to do this with Blackrock. And with Blackrock I'm using Pyromancer and I'm using Fire Elemental. Fire Elemental is actually pretty nice here because it's so good against Ogre Mages and it's so good against Firehammers as well. Dropping that save pilot. By this point I have gotten my save pilot timings a little bit better, so I'm able to grab those chests when I drop the save pilot to kill the Defiance bandits. Stealing a Molten Giant. I have Chimera coming, I have Pyromancer coming, and just look at how fast those chickens melt. I can use my Quillbore here to turn it around. Don't overcommit. Unless you have levels, like you can see I'm here 3 to 4 levels below the level of this encounter. So if I commit everything, I first tried that, I committed everything to this push because I thought, hey, this push is going so well. And then I lost because the counter push killed me and I didn't have enough damage. So in this attempt, this was the other attempt, successful attempt. Now I decided, okay, I'm not committing everything to the push, I'm just going to grab those chests, I'm going to get the economy, and I will win with the second push. That was my thought anyway when I started this battle here. Because of the way, first I thought, hey, I'm just going to do this in one single push. And you can if you have the levels, but as you can see, level 18, level 19. These are not at the level where Emberstrife just falls over and dies immediately. But this is going really well. Now I got the economy and I had the patience to go in with a second push, and that push was lethal. Horde is usually one of the most difficult factions, and actually on this account I didn't have Horde minis. That I had like one Horde mini that was able to reach level 19. So my Horde minis were a little on the low side. But here I have the Troll and I have the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is a wonderful Horde mini, by the way. Very useful, especially when you need flex slots, because it can do lots of things and it's really cheap. So just a tremendously good mini. Obviously my Witch Doctor in this particular case is level 17, so it's -5 levels. which does hurt its chances a little bit, but it's still going to be enough. We have the Chimera, we have the Quillbore, we have the 4 core minis, and we have 2 fairly cheap Horde minis on top, which will make it all possible. Here we go, here we go. Now we have the Chimera and we have the Troll approaching. But now unfortunately the Troll got ambushed and I didn't have the Quillbore ready either. Setting that one over there, I'm not sure, that might have been a mistake too. Because now the chests, I would really need to get to the chests. And that's why I'm actually using a Quillbore here. Quillbore's main job is to distract Emberstrife. But I realized that I'm in a position where I'm not ready to launch an assault on Emberstrife. And I really need to start opening those chests. So Quillbore is sent over there. And Quillbore is doing a great job. Opened 2 chests for me. That was a good chunk of extra gold. Now I am getting into a position. I have the Troll, I have the Chimera, I have the Witch Doctor, I have my anti-air team going in here, and I'm ready to distract as well. So let's get ready, steady, and I missed the timing. Well, I mean, happens sometimes. Oopsie. Anyway, it still wasn't terrible assault. Now I'm just waiting to catch both of those bandits with my save pilot, together with the chest, and I managed to do that. There's a lone Molten Giant coming. I love lone Molten Giants. They are wonderful to feed my Banshees. Banshee grabs that, and then I immediately send the anti-air segment behind that. So now we have the anti-air team together with a tank rolling around the circle, and once they meet Emberstrife, I'm also ready with the Quillbore to distract Emberstrife, and eventually the Molten Giant is going to walk to the other side of Emberstrife as well, so it's just going to be beautiful. And here we go. Now rest of my anti-air team actually got ambushed, so it's only the Chimera. But hey, Chimera, there's a little bit of safe pilot action going on as well. And good tanks means that Emberstrife is going down. And let's do this one more time with the field, with the Undead army. And here I have... this time I'm actually using Pyromancer just to kill the Drake. And correct timing, is it? It should be correct timing, right? I did get the gold, did I? Actually, not sure if I did. Well, maybe I was a little bit late then. Anyway, I can use skeletons here. Skeletons have one job in this army, and that job is to open chests for me and give me gold. Because I like gold. Gold is very useful. And here we go, here we go. Trying to send a little bit of assault from the other side while getting a Banshee over here. If Banshee had just had the talent to make Molten Giant heal to full, that would be so incredibly powerful. But, I mean, even without that talent, things are going nicely. Molten Giant explodes. They do keep their talent when they are stolen. So it has the exact same talent as usually. And now I don't want those to be hitting the chest, because I want the chest, and there we go. Click, click. Getting some chest action. Now using skeletons to distract the Warsong Raider for a little while. Not terribly effective, I guess, but they did enough. So it's fine. Wilbur, turn Emberstrife around. We have Safe Pilot, we have Chimera, we have Pyromancer. Plenty of stuff shooting at it. Again, able to set it up so that the Banshee steals the Molten Giant, using the skeletons to open chests. I mean, there's fairly routine actions that you just perform time and time again. One advantage of Pyromancer is that Pyromancer is really good against those drakes, especially when it has Pyroblast and it's the first hit, and also really good against those chickens. So look at that Pyromancer. That Pyromancer just destroyed 6 gold worth of stuff, and it's still standing. And I have the Safe Pilot taking down the Defias. And now we have the Distraction, and we have the Chimera going in, and life looks good. Alright, Emberstrife survived that, but I'm trying to get a concerted assault from multiple directions. Not quite enough. Now I'm actually thinking whether I could just send a Chimera to attack Emberstrife, but I decided to play it safe. I mean, I'm in no hurry. One of the ways that I have lost this encounter is when I have tried to push a little bit too hard, instead of just keep the economy advantage. Deny any assaults on my base. It just works. Obviously, sometimes you could get like 30-second faster kill if you try to commit more, but sometimes you end up losing because you try to commit more, which is not nice. So here we go. And now we have a lethal attack going on. There's nothing the Emberstrife can do against this, and boom. So that was Emberstrife with all families, with a core team of 4 and a couple of flex slots. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.